Thrasher Chronicles, preferred stock. Now there's a fair warning. If you're shy of language, probably go ahead and turn this one off, because it's probably gonna be colorful. I was 19 years old. I just moved home from Nashville. Been out there chasing a girl. Didn't go so well. I moved back home. My dad said, Jeff, either you go back to school or you get a job. Fair enough, right? So I got a job at my friend Mark York's dad's antique store. The very first day that I started working there, I met this old fucker named Chuck Highsmith. The dude was 60 something years old. I'm 19, and we are doing this right from the beginning. We bickered, we argued. I mean, it was constant, day in and day out. Well, I'd come from being the big brother of a whole lot of kids, all the neighborhood kids, my brother's friends, everybody. And I was used to picking on everybody in good fun. When I started working around Chuck, I didn't realize what a lifetime of retiring from the Air Force and retiring from the oil field would do to a person. And he wasn't bitter or anything like that. That old bastard had every cut down in the world. He picked on me every damn day. All the time. And we kind of developed this game, and we called it the fuck you game. Yeah. Fun, right? How's the fuck you game work? Fuck you game works when you sit there insulting each other back and forth over and over and over until somebody eventually says, fuck you, man. That's the best comeback they got. Fuck you. Well, that means you lost. That's all there is to it. And I lost every damn day. I can't tell you, man, for like a year and a half. Every day, Chuck and I would be back and forth. And he'd get me. Every single damn time. There was this one day where we were, Chuck and I'd go on deliveries. And, of course, we'd bicker the whole time. But as we were pulling out, Chuck always had this habit of, he is like a man of 1,000 different hats. Not that he had 1,000 different trades or things that he could do. No, he literally like had 1,000 different hats. And so every time we got in the truck to leave, he'd time it just right to where we'd be pulling out of the parking lot. He'd sit there and wait to where the light would just turn red, and he'd pull up to it, and then he'd reach in the back, and he'd pull out a hat, and he'd tip it down, and he'd crip the sides of it, and then he'd light him a cigarette, smoke roll out from underneath it. It was always the same damn thing. You know, I'd like, Chuck, I don't give a shit about your hats, man. So one day we were pulling out, and Chuck reaches back there and he pulls out this hat. And he's taking his time. He's being like real methodical about this. Pulls his hat out and puts it on. He's making sure I'm paying close attention as he's striking that cigarette, and that smoke comes rolling out from underneath that brim. And he slowly turns and looks at me and reads across the top of that hat, preferred stock. And I'm looking at him and lighting my own cigarette. And he looks over at me, and I see that preferred stock, and I start laughing. He goes, that's right. I'm preferred stock, motherfucker. I laughed my ass the whole damn delivery. We go deliver it, get back in the truck. He's still wearing that hat, man. I'm just laughing with a preferred stock, my motherfucking ass. You old motherfucking codger. So we get back to the shop. And you know, with this bickering that Chuck and I always did, we were always talking about who would whip whose ass. You know. And I knew that I whipped that old bastard's ass. And he knew that he'd whip my ass. There ain't no question about this. He knew he would. And I did too. Well, one day, Chuck comes rolling back there into the back of the shop, and Kyle Reese and I are back there working on some shit. Chuck walks back there, and he did his thing, walked back smiling, bent down, lit him a cigarette. He goes, "You know, Jeff, I'll admit something to you. I think that if we actually did get into a fight, we'd both be going to the hospital." I didn't miss one beat. I said, "You goddamn right, because I'd be driving your old fucking ass there, you dumb motherfucker." Man, Kyle just bust out laughing. "Oh, Chuck! Chuck! He got you. He got you, Chuck." I was like, "I got your ass. Got your ass." Chuck sat there and he took a big old drag off that cigarette and he goes, "Fuck you." Turned around and he walked out. It's like, I got that motherfucker. Finally got that son of a bitch. Proudest damn day of my life while I've been working at that store. Chuck and I were actually pretty good friends. I mean, I call him old bastard and stuff, but I mean, that's just what you do when you like each other. And you just talk shit on each other. I was about to move and go to Phoenix. And, I was kind of choked up about this. And the day that I was getting ready to leave, Gary had been out at the casinos winning our paycheck. And he came back. I saw Chuck go out to his truck like he was leaving. I was like, "Are you serious? I'm moving away, man. And you're just gonna fucking leave? Not even say goodbye?" I was pissed. Sitting back there at the table. All of a sudden I hear the door open, coming back to the back shop, and it's Chuck. And he walks up to me with a paper sack in his hands. And he hands it to me. He goes, "Don't open that until I leave." It's all right. Love you, boy. And he turned around and walked out. I heard that door shut. When dead, I opened up that paper sack and I found two things. This hat and a note that said, "Don't ever let anyone tell you anything other than preferred stock, motherfucker." And still to this day, I haven't. Still miss you, Chuck.